Kat. In today's episode, we are going to talk about how sometimes things that are supposed to be cheaper become more expensive, and that's very relevant for our field of work, which is freelancing and web design. Sometimes we get those clients where they ask for discounts and they want a full-blown e-commerce web shop done in a week, or maybe a whole app in 1 month. So stay tuned and let's hear from Kat if she has some interesting stories to tell us about.
Yeah, so I have one client that I work with, on a monthly kind of permanent basis. We've been working together for over a year now, and I really like them. Like, they're a good client to work with. They are not cheap necessarily. I mean, they're not cheap as in they try to argue on price or anything. But something very interesting happened quite recently with them. So basically, it's my client is one guy, and he has like 3 businesses, and he's starting a new one. So last year, he came to me with the idea and was like, okay, I need this website. How much it's going to cost? Send me the proposal, everything. So I sent him the proposal, and he was a bit like, oh, that's a lot of money, So he said, let me think about it. I'll see like how it goes. And he went away, and we didn't talk about it. Well, he mentioned it a few times. Then like a month ago, I found out that he had hired basically some cheaper developers to build this website for him.
I see.
My first reaction was like, what the fuck? We've been working together for a year. Why do you hire someone else? Yeah, exactly. I was like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
So that was my first reaction. Then when I sort of think about it a bit more and also talk to him, I kind of understood his his reasoning for doing this. Basically, he wants to invest a lot into this project, but I guess he hasn't thought through and like planned out how much it's going to cost, like how long it's going to take. He just wants to start it as soon as possible. I think, first of all, seeing like the price on the invoice, he was like, oh, which actually, now that I think about it, I probably quoted him a really low price. Now, if I did it again, it would probably be like twice that much. But because it's quite a big business that he wants to start, but I think he just hasn't planned out how much money he would need to invest in it in order to start it. So of course he's wanting to go like the cheaper thing. So yeah, then he showed me the website that they had built, and yeah, it was like a nice looking website, but it was basically a template, a Webflow template that they had kind of changed some words, or I don't know if it actually was a template, but it looked like it, and wasn't relevant to the business at all. None of the copy made any sense. Like, it wasn't sales, or it was just a website, a nice looking website.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Like, well designed and everything, but just like doesn't make any sense. So now he asked me like, hey, can you fix this? Basically, like, I really want to start this business, and this isn't what I want. So yeah, it's definitely going to work out a lot more expensive for him in the long run, now that he's hired them, and he also has to hire me. Plus, it's this like time wasted that he could have been putting in his business. Now he's wasted like 3 or 4 months building with those developers, and it's going to take me a few months as well on top of that. So we've added like, I don't know, at least 6 months to the project timeline. So yeah.
I'm not sure, is it like a female and male brain orientation, how things works and how they're more like action, I want it done now. And we are like, no, we are building a home. We need foundations, we need like structure, we need walls, we need roof, we need to think about the rainy days, we need to think about like vulnerabilities, we need to talk about security, accessibility, good copy. I'm transitioning from building to web design, if you got it.
Yeah.
But we think big picture and long run and long term, and most of my also potential and actual clients also came with like these ideas, that actual ideas, no air quotes there. They want like one website or some sketches done in, I don't know, 2 days or 1 week, or in only 2 weeks or something like that, when the actual fun. It's not like, it always takes more than what you like presume, and also cost more. You cannot expect to create a business that will bring you revenue and make you some kind of income that you expect, and then you're not willing to accept or even consider, because some buyers and clients don't even think about and say, okay, let me think about it and reevaluate and come back to you. They straight away say, no, this is too expensive or something like that. Take your time and think about it, what you will actually get when some designers offers you like one package and what they stand for, and then what you will get from someone that says, yes, I can do it immediately, let's start tomorrow. Is it too good to be true? If it sounds like it, then probably is.
Yeah, definitely.
If it is difficult, it needs more time, and it has some kind of how to say, not road bumps, but yeah, it has some difficulties on the way. This means that that designer probably is willing to spend more time with you and walk with you this way, and has like concerns and has some kind of questions to ask you about. Go with that road, because that road will be more rocky but more successful. Where when they tell you, yes, we can build it in 3 nights and it's going to be running on Thursday without asking any questions, then you should really think about it if it's actually possible or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So definitely.
And I think when this happens, for example, like my initial reaction was to sort of take it personally, that even though I've been working with him on all his other websites, that like somehow he didn't see my value that I would bring to the table, which now that then he's gone to someone else that didn't bring the value, then he's come back to me. So I think it's really important to, like not take it personally and think about like why, like try to see it from their point of view. I think especially with this client, he's super experienced in what he does, and he has 3 separate businesses, so he's quite accomplished already, but I think his businesses are more in his
domain
field. So it's I don't know how to say, he maybe has done less of like the business thinking, like, so for example, us as freelancers, you're thinking about like who I want to serve, like what's my value, like these sort of points, where he hasn't thought about that so much with this new business, because he hasn't had to in his older businesses, because that was just like in his field and he knew what he was doing. So I think it's important to look at from their point of view, maybe what they're not thinking of, like what they haven't planned in order to reach their own goals.
Basically make a persona assessment and see where they're lacking, what are their strengths and weaknesses, because obviously if you go to hire a designer, you lack something. You don't have the time. Most of my clients say, I don't have the time, I can do it myself. Sure you can. Sure you can do it.
Then why are we on this call? Why did you contact me if you could do it yourself?
I don't say that it's not possible to build a website. Everybody can do it. But is this possible? Is this website going to bring you money, clients, and all the outcomes that you want to achieve with your business? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can create that full package website where it works for you in your business. So whenever they say, I just don't have time and I need someone to do it, that's something that I always take as something to think about. And I'm like, okay, you want me to just build the website, or do you actually want my advice and consultation as a web designer? Because I can give you much more than just a website. So when it comes to that, expensive is cheaper, that comes the consultation part, right? This is where they all get really baffled about the prices, because probably we also have fault as designers not explaining well why it costs so much and what we actually bring to the table and what is behind the surface. And there is the constant battle between UI and UX. Also put here strategy, and on the top you can put also like a whole business projection for 5 years, like what you want to achieve. And it's just not it's not just a website with a homepage and contact page. It's just so much more behind it. It
Yeah,
contains
exactly.
branding, marketing, copywriting, sales, SEO, everything that you can think of that can be related to a business. So
Yeah.
yeah, dear business owners, have this in mind.
So you said something that was a really good point there, and explaining your value to the clients. I think this is where you can see the difference between kind of cheaper clients and more expensive clients. I think maybe it's from Christo's page that he has like a meme that says like a $10,000 client is going to ask you one question and then send you the money, whereas
Yeah.
like a $50 client is going to ask 500 questions and ask for discount. I
Yeah.
think when you're in, or at least in my experience, when I'm in the conversations with a client and I tell
Mm.
them like the high price,
Mm-hmm.
the people who don't understand the value,
Mm-hmm.
personally, I can't be bothered explaining it. Like when I've had one sales call where the girl was like, oh, well, I can do this myself.
Mm.
When it's that point, I understand as a freelancer that she is not someone who, even if I explain the value to her, she's not going to pay for it.
Exactly.
Whereas the people, I have other clients where I can say any price and they're like, yeah, we know that we need this website. We're not going
Mm-hmm.
to ask you. Of course, there's something in the middle that people do understand the value, but they just physically, they can't afford it.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, if you listen to how like they talk about money, your clients,
Mm.
then you can see how they understand their business plan.
Yeah.
Like if they do have future, if they plan their finances for the future as well.
Yeah. And also their negotiation styles when they're like obviously win-lose and they just want to win and get all the most out of something and pay the minimum, right? And where
Yeah.
they're like people who are like hesitant, but they want to win, they want to pay someone well, and they want to get something
Yeah.
well. You can easily get that vibe on a discovery call, and you can just get the idea what kind of client you're dealing with. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also one of the things we come across as freelancers, because we negotiate basically and communicate with so many different types of people, and you just have to know where, as you said, press and where to pull and just leave it be, because sometimes as Chris do says, you have to talk with the people that are actually paying and giving you the money, not those that are just advising and working around it, right? So
Yeah.
101, that's why I prefer 101, when people are responsible for their business, they're attached to it, they know where they want to go, they know how much that means to them, and they're willing to invest. And I had the most wholesome project with one of my clients when they were like partners, men and woman, and the woman was taking all the admin tasks, and she was asking me multiple questions, like
Okay.
100 questions, and I was like, I like her, she has a checklist like me, so we're doing this ping pong back and forward, and she asked me questions, I provide her feedback, and in the end it was such a beautiful collaboration, because we knew what we wanted, and we wanted to win. Like I wanted
Yeah.
from them to get the best clients they can with this website, and they wanted for me to get my money as soon as possible and do the best job I can. So they were pushing me, I was pushing them, and it was amazing. And after 3 months I get a message, hey, I hope you're fine, we got 3 leads with newly released website. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this is such an
Amazing.
amazing news. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, for
that's like
sure.
one a success story, when you meet your desired client, when they don't mind paying extra and they don't mind the schedule being a bit longer, when they get what they want.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, those dream clients. That's the best thing.
Yes, yes. Send them
Yeah.
my way, universe.
Yeah. I think it's like if they, when a client understands that something will take a little bit longer. For example, I hate when they say like, it's something small, a few changes, it won't take you too long, or something like this.
Yeah.
So another story about a client that I have, who I also enjoy working with. These aren't, I'm not like bad mouthing my clients.
No, no.
So we worked together over a period of a couple of years. He had like a plan for a mobile app, and then the business plan changed. So then he came to me and he was like, yeah, we've simplified the app. Can you do this for me in a month? And I was like, no, there's no way I can design a whole app for you in a month. Like, are you
Mm-mm.
crazy? And then, and obviously for the 1 month of work, my price was quite high because I have to cram like everything into a month. So he was like, no, that's too expensive. And I was like, okay, we can do it kind of on a
Gradually.
month-to-month basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, basically, he's still designing the app now. Like, I'm not working with them anymore. I kind of did the UX, and then he's working with a UI designer. But it's been like over a year now that they're still working on the app. I'm like, oh, this kind of idea that he thought that price that I quoted was expensive, but now he's wasted a year and probably spent like 3 times that much. I don't know, just people need to plan a bit more their businesses and like think realistically about prices and time.
Yeah. Best advice when it comes to decision making I ever heard: sleep on it. Have a night's sleep and sleep on it and think about it very well. Put things on paper and see what actually is worth it. Because also another example was with a Shopify potential client. We never worked together yet. Maybe he will come to me and say, you know what, you were right. Maybe I need some UX and conversion rate optimization, because it's an e-commerce shop where they sell food in Germany. And they want to launch their business. Yeah, actually Berlin, if I'm not mistaken.
I have to look it up.
I will send you the link when it's ready. But the potential client gave me the password, and I was checking the website, and he wasn't sure if the freelancer was doing a good job, and he wanted to budge me in between, right? So me cut the freelancer and get his job and build the website. I quote, because I don't have time and I can do it, but I don't have time. And it's so much, it's so little work, I don't, I was like, I tried to explain, really. I did my best to explain that little work, it's never little work, because there's so much behind the scenes. And I was like, okay, I will give it a look, but I never took the project. And then after he gave me the password to check the progress and see where they have come, I was like, it looks good. It's a good work in progress, but it's missing the UX. It's missing some important points where the conversion rate will be higher. It misses that oomph, that feeling that, oh, this is a business. They're actually like doing something meaningful, that emotional connection with the user. You don't have that feeling that this business is here to stay. You just have like I said, template, some logo, and some images, but it doesn't feel complete. It doesn't feel like it's finished. It doesn't feel
if it's
like
just a template, then it's not a
exactly.
website. They haven't done a website design project. It's just a template.
Exactly. They did a really good 80% of the work, but all the work around it still needs updating and needs to be worked on. So I gave my feedback, and I didn't leave any other points, because that's also giving away what I can give and help them with. So if he's smart enough, or motivated enough to complete it, he'll be like, okay, can you please quote me and let me know what you can improve on the website as an audit, and help me do it, and how much that will cost. And then we will be another story, and I can really put all my forces into it and make a really, really good website where the branding and the idea behind it speaks volumes.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's so interesting working with clients. Like, I don't know, I'm always amazed, like meeting different people and how like everyone goes about business differently. I mean, obviously, like we learn a lot from them as well, but it's just such a roller coaster sometimes.
Yeah, but I love it. I don't complain at all, and I also try to come with more understanding when clients are deciding not to work with me, or to work with me, but not like when they negotiate or they refuse certain things. I also try to be more understanding, and to be like, okay, this is not because of me, it's because of something they are dealing with, or something that they think it's correct or right. So
Exactly, yeah. So to our takeaways for this episode, Nicoletta's
Yeah.
just said hers.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess mine is sort of a similar point. Like, don't take things personally if
Mm,
you get pushback from a client. If they say no, or if they kind of argue on the price, don't take
mm,
it personally and try to be understanding of their perspective, because probably it's not you, it's many other things.
yes,
Everyone's got a
yes,
million things going on in their lives. So yeah, just try to stay
absolutely.
positive.
Yeah, sleep on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And dear designers out there, don't feel pressured. And if someone is pressuring you to make a decision and start working with them, run.
Yeah.
Don't feel
Yeah, keep your
pressured.
boundaries. Yeah.
Yes, don't feel pressure to make a decision on a whim or without having enough research or time to think about it, because nothing is that urgent ever.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Right, Kat?
Bye. Yes.
Bye.